Things got worse in October 1915 when pack ice started to consume the ship. The ship began to fracture, and Shackleton knew the only chance the men had was to find land. So in November, the ship had finally sunk and they headed off. This was the start of Shackleton's legacy of being a brave, heroic leader. So the plan was to walk 100 miles across the ice to the northern tip of Antarctica, and when the ice broke apart, they would use the lifeboats they salvaged from the ship. Easy. With freezing winds though and blizzards along with rationing food meant this was miserable, and they even eventually had to eat the sled dogs. The mission proved too hard, so the men settled on Elephant Island. This was dry land. Shackleton then decided to leave the majority of men and sail 900 miles on a lifeboat with the help of 5 other men. He packed enough supplies for a month, as he knew by then he would have died or succeeded. The men sailed for 60 miles a day on the rough seas. They were drenched, frostbitten, and their skin irritated by the raw seawater. After 14 days, the men spotted South Georgia Island. They spent a night trying to find a suitable area to land with the hurricane winds. When they finally found a spot they could land, they were on the opposite side. This was an unprecedented journey of crossing rocks, ice and glaciers, and 3 men were too weak, so Shackleton and 2 men headed for the whaling station in Stromness. Now they had to overcome 2,000-foot glacier and a 25-foot waterfall. This was a month-long ordeal, and the men were ravaged. The men left behind at Elephant Island, though, were finally rescued 5.5 months later. Shackleton, though, had tried 3 times previously to rescue them, but each time ran into ice and had to turn back. The Chilean government then stepped in and in the end providing a smaller boat that would allow access to Elephant Island. The men recall seeing Shackleton and the remark he made, "All well?" The men all made it home, and Shackleton and his men didn't receive any attention due to the war. 5 years later, planned another expedition, but this time proved fatal. On the way, he died of a heart attack. He's buried on South Georgia Island, but what a man.